Hello everyone, my name is Miner and welcome back to Minecraft for Beginners. In this episode, we are going to talk about farming and some useful blocks and items within the game. First, we will start with farming here, and I will show you some of the food items you can get by farming and some of the different ways you can get food. And then we will move on to talking about the different types of blocks in the game, some of the lighting options available, and some other useful items that are handy to have. But first, let's go back here and we'll talk farming. So, some of the food items you can find at different villages are things like beetroot or beetroot seeds, some potatoes, some carrots, and wheat or wheat seeds. Occasionally, you can find pumpkins and melons in the villages, but it is mostly pumpkins rather than melons. Melons are more commonly found in the wild in jungles. Melons are good for melon slices, or you can make glistering melon slices, and you can use that for potion making. You can also eat kelp, which you can find in ocean biomes and things. What you do for that is you just break one of the stalks and everything, gather up the kelp, put it into a furnace, and cook it, and then you can eat the dried kelp that comes out of it. You can't eat kelp by itself when it's just underwater like this. Sweet berries are found in mostly spruce spruce wood biomes, or spruce tree biomes, and you can place them on any kind of surface, grass, dirt, farmland, which I didn't know about until just recently. And to farm these, you just right click on them and it'll pop off the berry. Do not step into them because you will get damaged. And then you just take the sweet berries and place them back down on the ground and they will produce more. With the wheat seeds, you want to take the wheat, place it down, and then just wait for it to grow. Same with the carrots, potatoes, beetroots, and things of that sort. For the carrots, you can eat the carrots, potatoes, and beetroots. You can eat them by themselves, or you can cook the potatoes, make them into baked potatoes, or you can take the carrots with some gold nuggets, put them into a crafting bench, and you can make them golden carrots. The golden carrots are a big preference by most people. I prefer just to use pork chops or steak because they do heal about 4 haunches of food. So if I go to survival, you can see down here at the bottom there is little meat sticks. When you eat golden carrots, it provides you with a good amount of haunches. Steak and pork chops do the same thing. It's just the personal preference of which food item you want to use. Wheat can't be eaten, but you can craft that into bread by using 3 wheat stalks in a crafting bench. Put them together and you can get a piece of bread out of it. Beetroot can be made into a soup if you have a bowl and I believe some other ingredients. To make the beetroot soup, you need a bowl and 6 beetroots, which looks like this, and it's also in my inventory. And you just get a beetroot soup. So I don't think you can eat this by itself. No, you can't eat it by itself. So unless you're in creative mode, but I didn't have any hunger that I needed to reheal. So to make things grow, you can wait for it to grow over time, or you can use a thing called bone meal. Bone meal will provide it with more, will speed up the process a little bit, and you can get there faster. To get bone meal, you can either kill fish, uh, put seeds or something in a composter or something, and you do need quite a number of them. And there's bone meal. into a composter. You can put stuff like that into a composter. You can also use flowers, seeds. You can also use potatoes and things, but that's just a waste of food. It is helpful. You can also get bone meal from bones if you kill a skeleton. But for that, you would need a skeleton farm or just kill a lot of skeletons at night. Um, you can just wait for it to grow, but it does take a little while, especially for most things. If you have a villager, he can farm it for you, but that's an automated farm, and I'm just showing you the standard basic way to do it. If you want to see how to do that automated, I can show you in another video. Melons, they will grow based on the stalk. Once it gets to this point, to the full grown stalk, you cannot bone meal it anymore, but you can bone meal it to this point. And same goes for the pumpkins. You can't bone meal it to make the melon appear. It will have to choose its own way to do it. And to make the farmland, you want to take a hoe with some dirt and make sure there's a water source next to it. And it can just be a 1 block because water can change the farmland into wet farmland by within 5 blocks of it. So, and all you do is you just take a hoe, right click, and it turns it into farmland. Turns the dirt into farmland. And you can place lily pads on top of your water source so you can just walk over it. So you don't have to worry about jumping in and out of water when you're in your farm area. You can also do fishing by making a rod and just throwing it into a pool of water. Has to be a certain size, I believe. And you just sit and wait, and you can get raw cod, raw salmon, different things. You can even get enchanted books every once in a while. But most people do not do fishing that much. But because it's kind of time consuming, and you just wait until you see a row of bubbles come up when you want to do fishing. But it is a good way to get some fish. So you can use that to replenish your hunger. And if we wait just a little bit longer, we should see a row of bubbles. There it is. And you have to do it when it first hits. So when it bounces, when it just bounces, you want to right click again, and that'll reel in the fish or whatever. And if I press F, I can actually switch hands and do stuff with my other hand, but and you can put the reel in your offhand. And this is all on Java, not on Bedrock, because Bedrock you can't switch hands. So there's the water, or the bubbles, and I got a salmon that time. But you can get a multitude of different things, like saddle, tripwire hooks, sometimes leather armor, like boots and things, and just a whole bunch of different things. Enchanted books, lily pads, things like that. So I think that pretty much does it for farming. So let's move on to the blocks and things. With the blocks, there are a multitude, as you can see here, a multitude of different blocks you can use. What we are going to focus on is the repetitive blocks, such as stairs, slabs, things like that. Now, most blocks you can have logs, stone, they can do anything. Mostly these blocks, like the building blocks, you can have you can have like cobblestone stairs, andesite stairs, diorite stairs, walls, the planks and things, you can have the stairs, slabs, and slabs for these as well. Bedrock, that you cannot have this in survival mode, it's only in creative, and it cannot be broken at all. But you can have slabs, stairs, fence posts with the wood, fence gates. That's good for protecting your farm and everything, and zombies cannot jump over it. if so, there's a whole bunch of different blocks there. You can also have stripped oak logs and everything. You can also have the acacia wood by placing the oak log, or you can have the oak wood and oak logs. There's a difference because it covers the entire block in the bark, which is helpful if you want to make like a tree that doesn't have any wood showing. But you can make different slabs. There's a whole bunch of different slabs: dark prismarine, prismarine brick, purpur, which is found in the end, brick, stone, sandstone, red sandstone. There's also, you can also do cut stuff of chiseled bricks, chiseled nether bricks. You can also make stairs and things out of that as well. Slabs, end stone. You can make end stone bricks with those. So there's just really a whole multitude. There's also quartz. There's just a whole multitude of different things you can do with the different blocks. Concrete, you can do powder and just concrete, but you cannot make anything else with those. So they just stay as these natural block. You can't even make slabs out of them, which is kind of a thing I wish they would add to it. So you can have concrete slabs or concrete stairs. Those would be helpful. So you can build more stuff without having to switch from concrete to like quartz or something, because there is a difference between the two of them. There's also blackstone. You can make polished blackstone by putting it together. Gilded blackstone, that one you have to find by itself. But there's chiseled. You can make bricks, polished bricks, slabs, different things like that. So it's best to just go through the different blocks in a creative world and just see what works well together. And you can do different things like that. You can also, for different lighting options, you have the glowstone. You can actually use jack-o'-lanterns by taking a pumpkin, carving it, and then sticking it with a torch in a uh, crafting bench, and it makes it a jack-o'-lantern. You can also have the soul fire campfire, or the regular campfire, soul lanterns and regular lanterns, soul torches. Now the soul ones and the redstone torch do not produce that much light, so they are for more mood lighting. And the regular lamps and lanterns and torches and things are better for lighting up a bigger area. The sea lanterns, shroom lights, redstone lamps, and the jack-o'-lantern and glowstone are helpful for lighting up big areas, and they look good as lamps and everything. End rods also produce some light, and they also look pretty cool as fluorescent lights if you stick them on your ceiling. So, and these are sea pickles. Sea pickles are good for underwater. They don't produce much light when they're out of water, but if they're underwater and they're in a group of 4, they produce a good amount of light underwater, and you can see a little better. Moving on, we have bookcases. Bookcases are good, so you can break them and get books out of them, or you can use them with an enchanting table, like over there, and I will talk about in a second. There's also carpet that helps mobs not spawn on different things. You can also use it as grass and cover up lighting in the ground, or you can use it in your home to stop things from spawning, or you can just use bottom slabs, where you take a piece of wood or the slab and put it on the bottom half of a block, because they are half the size of a block. Pistons are good for redstone contraptions. Shulker boxes are good for holding multiple items, so you can have there's 27 slots in a shulker box, and you can put those inside other chests, so you can actually save room. Slime blocks are good for redstone contraptions, and also for bouncing on if you make a long fall. Just make sure you're holding your spacebar or your jump button. Redstone is good for making redstone contraptions and things like that. Saddle is good for riding a horse or a pig or a mule. You can put those on there. You cannot get it back from a pig. It will just stay on the pig forever. Unless you kill the pig, then you can get it back. But you can ride horses that way and everything. Rails and minecarts are found in mine shafts, or you can make your own using wood and iron and things like that. Mine carts, you can use them to ride or push villagers and things around. Book and quill, you can write down stuff like for a shop or something you want to make on a multiplayer server, or to make a journal for yourself in your own world. A boat is also good for crossing water, and it's good useful to have when you're near an ocean or something. You can also use them to boat mobs and villagers and things like that. Elytra is probably one of the best items in the game because it allows you to fly around with rockets, or a trident with Riptide, so you can get into the water, Riptide out, and then you can fly around. Fence posts, like I said earlier, you can use to block in your farm or just surround your house and everything, and it keeps the mobs away. Scaffolding is good for climbing up different things. It uses bamboo and string. A totem of undying, it helps protect you from a first death. If you have multiple of them, it's best to put them in your offhand and then hold it there. Then you can walk around, and if you get killed, it goes away, and it allows you to survive just a little bit longer. So you can get away, but just beware that it only gives you like 2 hearts, so if you get shot again, you will die again. And they also don't protect when you're falling into the void, so beware of that. Honey blocks are useful like slime blocks. You can also slide up against them and get an achievement called... And if I go into survival, you can get an achievement for this called Sticky Situation. And it's just, you can do different things like that. You can slide along it. You can do things with items and everything by throwing items along it. It just looks kind of cool. It's helpful. You just need bees and wait and just kind of collect the honey from that. The composter is useful for farming and also making a farming villager. You can fill it up with different items like flowers, and like I said over there, flowers and seeds and things like that, and just fill it up and get some bone meal that way. Or you can automate it. If you want to see that, let me know. A barrel is useful for creating a fisherman villager, or you can store things in it. If you stack 2 up on top of each other with a door in front of it, you can make like a fridge. A smoker is good for smoking food and everything a little bit quicker than an actual furnace, so it is very helpful to have. A loom, you can make different banners and things and make designs and make like flags if you wish. Other than that, you can actually place them in different angles and you can get a different look of things. If you place it like this, it can look like shelving or drawers or something, so you can make like a dresser or something, or cabinet or something like that. Going back, the smoker can create a butcher villager, the loom can create a shepherd, and he can give you different paintings and things. The cartographer table, you can get a cartographer out of it, and he'll give you different maps and things. You can use a cartographer's table to make a duplicate map and make more, or you can lock it so you don't mess it up later. If you want to change it, you can do that, and then preserve that previous map. A Fletcher's table, it has no use right now, but they might be working on that, I'm not sure. But you can use it to get a Fletcher, and you can get arrows and bows and things from him like that. This is a grindstone. Grindstones can repair and enchant, so you just put the item in here and it'll come out over here. So you can put 2 items in there. You can also put just the enchanted item and it comes out de-enchanted. You can get experience from that. But if you want to combine things, you want to use an anvil, which I don't have. And an anvil is helpful, and just set it there. And an anvil is helpful in repairing, and you can also rename things like paper or pretty much anything you can rename. And then if you want to, you can enchant books. Put 2 books in here, make different things. And you can also put an item in here and enchant it using with the book. You can repair them, and it doesn't get rid of the enchant. So the anvil is a bit more useful than the grindstone, but it's up to you. And with the grindstone, you can get a toolsmith, I believe. I mentioned it I showed all these items in my villager video, so if you want to check those, just go back to that. This is the smithing table. You can use it to upgrade your gear to netherite armor or weapons or tools and things. That's pretty much its only use. You can also have a villager attached to it, and he will provide you with different weapons as well. So you have a toolsmith and a weaponsmith. This is a stone cutter. You can use it to get a stone mason, and he'll provide you with bricks, and you can give him clay to get emeralds and things, or you can use it to make your own stairs and smooth. You can make your own stairs, slabs, different things like that. And this is actually more helpful than actually using a crafting bench and the crafting bench you put in 6. With these you can do the same 6 and get 6 out of it. With the crafting bench you put in 6, you only get 4 out of it if you're making stairs. So if we put in a stair or the block, we can get 1 stair for 1 block, which is very, very helpful. This is a blast furnace. It will smelt down iron ore, gold ore, all kinds of different ores a little faster than the furnace. You can also get an armorer villager from this device. Next up is a lodestone. A lodestone you cannot click on it, but it uses netherite and some other things. I cannot remember what all it requires for the crafting recipe, but it is useful if you use it with a compass. As you right click on it, it will give you an achievement, and it will always point to that lodestone. So that way you can use one when you get home and put it in your home, and then you can go out on adventures and you know exactly where your home is. Or you can use it in the nether, which is very helpful, and you can find your way back to your nether portal, and it will always work no matter what, and it will always point towards the lodestone, even in an item frame. Next is a respawn anchor, and these are good for respawning your character in the nether. If you do it here, you can do it once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times. If you do it again, it will blow everything up in the overworld. In the nether, it won't, but you can also, I think if you right click on it in the overworld, it will also blow it up as well when you have a full thing. So we will just delete that, and we will get it back. Respawn. So you want to be careful with how you use it in the overworld, and it's more helpful in the nether because if you die, you will respawn back at that respawn anchor, and it will take a piece of glowstone. So what you want to do is you want to keep it always refilled with glowstone, and all you do is just right click on it with the glowstone in your hand. Next is a lectern. You cannot interact with it unless you have a book on it. If you have a book and quill, you can place on it, or a sign book, you can do that. And it just holds the book for you, and also creates a librarian villager, and they can provide you with enchanted books. You cannot place the enchanted books on the lecterns though. Next is a cauldron. You can use that for water in the nether. You just stand inside it. I can't get inside it. There we go. So you can get inside it like this, and you can pour water on yourself if you're in the nether, or you can use it to clean banners and things like that. You can also use it for a villager and everything. Next is a brewing stand. You can use it to brew potions. You need blaze powder to power it, and you need 3 bottles. Always having 3 bottles is helpful because you can always have 3 of that same potion. If you do just one, you just kind of waste the brewing ability. So it's always best to brew 3 instead of just 1. That way you get 3 times the amount, and it doesn't cost you really too much of anything. And it also get the brewing stand, if you give it to a villager, he will become a cleric, and he can give you redstone and lapis and things like that. The target block is made using redstone and hay bales, and it can provide a redstone signal, and it's also good for target practice and things like that. You can also get an advancement for bullseye if you hit it dead center of the bullseye there, and it has to be dead center. There's a little trick you can do with a trapdoor, and you have to be standing back 30 blocks or something, and you have to hit it from there. You can also use a trapdoor, fire into the trapdoor and everything, and then use a redstone line to power the trapdoor and have it do that way. Or you can, that's kind of a cheaty way to do it, but if you can't get it the standard way, I would suggest doing that if you want the advancement. But that is pretty much all they're useful for, and just providing a redstone signal. So it's helpful, but it's actually kind of cool that you can use it for target practice. Next is the enchanting table. I mentioned that when I mentioned the bookcases. With the enchanting table, you can enchant your items and tools and things. And to do that, you need lapis, which is what I have over here. You need lapis and something to enchant. The lapis will give you the necessary things, and the reason you need bookcases is to get the highest level of enchanting. So if I put the item back in, you'll see that there's a level 30 over here. This is the highest level the highest enchanting level you can get. It requires 3 levels of experience, and to do that, you need to place in the bookcases. A total of 15 will provide you with the level 30 enchant. However, if you have things blocking the blocks, it will lower the level of enchanting, but it still requires your 3 levels. So you have a 1 level, 2 level, and 3 levels that you need to enchant the item. But if you have stuff blocking, like so, it will slowly lower the number that it has that you can enchant with, and it won't provide you with that good of stuff. However, if you break the blocks that are surrounding it, it will provide you with the highest thing it can come with. It was a Smite 4, which is pretty good. There's also Smite 5, and you can get a lot of good stuff from enchanting this way. The next one is a conduit. Conduits are made using a Heart of the Sea item, which looks like this. And what you need is the Heart of the Sea and some Nautilus shells. You need 8 of them to make the conduit. And what the conduit does is it provides you with underwater breathing, and you can see a little better underwater. To make a conduit actually work, you need to have the conduit with you, place it underwater, and place I believe any kind of block would work, and you just 5, go up 1. You just want this kind of structure with the conduit around it, or conduit in the middle of it, and it should activate underwater and provide you with the underwater breathing and underwater seeing. It also kills mobs if they get too close, like drowned and things. The last thing is a beacon. Beacons are used for different boosts or buffs, like strength, jump boost, resistance, speed, and haste. And if you have a full beacon pad under full beacon pyramid underneath it using iron, gold, diamond, emerald, or netherite blocks, and you can use a combination of any of them together or just one full set. You need 2 stacks of whatever item and 36 as well, which will provide you with a full beacon pyramid, and with that you'll get regen and a secondary power, such as if you click on haste, you'll get haste 2, and you can do an instant mining then. And it also provides a little bit of light around your base, and it shoots a beam of light into the sky. And it provides you with buffs up to, I think, 32 blocks around, so you can be within 32 blocks of it and it will provide you with that. Up, down, left, right, forward, backwards. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below, and also give me a like and thumbs up. And if you want to see something else that I missed talking about, or you want to see some of the farms that I mentioned automated, let me know as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!